Just recently, there's been a bit of a buzz around the subject of augmented reality. I've been following the latest developments with keen interest because I've been augmenting my own reality for many years. In fact, I'm doing so right now, and it doesn't require an expensive pair of goggles to make it work. To the casual listener, it might sound as if the tea caddy's modest city garden is rather generously endowed with birdsong. That's not actually the case. It's usually just a bunch of sparrows and starlings squabbling over the bird feeders. Most of the delightful chirping and chirruping is from a recording called English Meadow, made almost 50 years ago. I'm listening to it on a couple of UE Megaboom 3 speakers, configured as a stereo pair and positioned at either end of the veranda. This creates an immersive soundstage that mingles seamlessly with the constantly changing sound environment in the garden. So I can put the track on loop and it sounds different every time. The Megaboom 3s have an integrated fabric strap that can be threaded over an appropriately sized hook. A length of dowel is positioned directly below the hook to help keep the speaker upright. Mounting the speakers in this way means that I don't have to make a little platform to stand them on. That's important because when you create a platform in a sheltered space in your garden, things will come and live on it and leave their droppings there. When the audio compact disc came along in the 1980s, it proved to be the ideal format for long-form, unobtrusive recordings designed to aid mindfulness and relaxation. Recordings like these can transport me and my humble garden to some of the most remote and exotic places on Earth. Here are a few of my favourites. On breezy days, I like to imagine myself relaxing on board a wood-masted sailboat, moored in a secluded cove somewhere off the North Devon coast. On a long, hot summer's evening, I might find myself pitching camp for the night on the banks of the Amazon as I travel deep into the heart of the rainforest. You can even travel through time, man. I mean, back in 1969, there was this crazy gathering in New York Central Park. Leary was there, Kerouac, Crumb, everyone. I mean, peace out, man. But it's not all about field recordings. Artists like Brian Eno have been producing ambient soundscapes in the studio for more than half a century now. Thursday Afternoon, released in 1985, was a single piece of music 61 minutes long and one of the first CD-only releases. The best ambient music can seem to create a sort of sonic bubble that welcomes in pleasant sounds but de-emphasizes unwanted sounds like passing traffic and guttering repairs. But ambient music doesn't just have to be drones and chimes. For many years now, a celebrated recording artist and producer called Bill Laswell has been taking all sorts of music into the ambient realm. One of the best examples of this, to my mind, is Dreams of Freedom, ambient translations of Bob Marley in dub, which mingles together environmental sounds and stripped-down versions of Bob Marley's signature hits without Bob. Some purists don't like it, but I have endless time for it. Perhaps my favourite, however, among the Bill Laswell canon is Imaginary Cuba, which takes modern and traditional Cuban music and weaves it into a dense, diverting soundscape that takes you on a virtual tour of Havana and its surroundings. Those Latin beats seem to go very well with an outdoor environment on a sunny day. So if you're sunning yourself in the garden at the moment, you could do a lot worse than putting on a bit of vintage cumbia. Buena salud!